Have you ever seen these one-of-one, low-top Jordan 3s that were gifted to Kobe Bryant 20 years ago when he signed with Nike? You probably haven't. There's only 3 reference photos in existence, so to recreate these is gonna be a challenge. This video is brought to you by Pristine Auction. If you don't know about Pristine Auction, they are the most trusted memorabilia and collectibles auction site. Every day there's thousands of new auctions available starting at only $1, making it easy to win authentic signed items at affordable prices. They have just about every player you could think of when it comes to sports, old and new school, you name it, they have it. And don't even get me started on the pop culture stuff they have. Affordable deals are happening all the time on Pristine Auction. Every item here comes with authenticity from the industry's most reputable authenticators. Upgrade your collection of signed memorabilia today and get $10 off the first item you win when you use registration code Kobe. Stay tuned for the rest of the video. We're giving away one of the sickest items we've ever given away on the channel thanks to Pristine Auction. All right, everybody, the time is here. We got a lot of work to go over to make this project successful. For me personally, I gotta start taking apart the donor shoe. Julian, I know you got a lot of work on your end. What do you got?
All right, as you can tell, the shoe has a lot of engraving on it. So in order for me to do my job of the engraving, we're gonna have to digitize all of these patterns and graphics on here. So that's gonna be my job. Jake, what are you gonna be doing?
So basically we need to recreate this mythical shoe. In order to do that, we're gonna lay tape down on each piece, pull a pattern from it, and that'll give us something to work with.
Well, we know you do a great job on the pattern, Jake, but when we look at this, we can see how intricate the Mark Smith filigree is. And it's gonna be very important, guys, that we line up the artwork so that it fits the shoe the way the original did on that Kobe. So we have a lot of work to do, as well as we have a size 11 pattern, but we're gonna be going to a size 12 shoe. So we have to be very careful with setting that up.
To honor the Black Mamba on Kobe Day, we're recreating the mythical one-of-one Jordan 3 low top that was gifted to Kobe Bryant when he first signed with Nike back in 2003. They were originally created by the legendary former VP of Innovations, Mark Smith. This creative genius is responsible for some of Nike's craziest projects that you've probably never heard of. He's the pioneer behind Nike's laser engraving era. We only have 3 photos to work with, making this project extremely challenging to recreate on point. To do this right, it's taken several days of hard work with the 4-man team. We're really happy with how things are looking. We just hope that we make Mark Smith proud and honor Kobe Bryant the right way.
So Julian, one of the things I was trying to figure out how we're going to achieve is the thickness of these cut lines. If you see how intricate that is, I don't know how we're going to get that. It almost looks like one line, but I don't know how we're going to get it to look like the original. What do you think?
Yeah, so it's kind of inset a little bit. I have a theory. I think what we need to do is in Illustrator, I can go ahead and outline the stroke itself. So in the laser engraver, what it's going to do is recognize both the inside line and the outside line of that shape. So instead of it just cutting once for the shape, it's actually going to cut the outside and then slightly on the inside a little bit.
I think that's a great idea. I think it'll look just like this if we do that. So both sides of the stroke will be cut in there. So yeah, the hard part is now going to make that match for those steps inside, because everything is a little bit even. But like you're saying, it's the double line, so we're going to go in there and make sure that it's an even spread between that inside shape and then the outside shape. Great, let's try it out. Let's see how it looks.
All right, let's move on.
While everybody's busy, we gotta start with the insoles. We are gonna be using the black pigskin that's gonna go in the liner for the insoles. First, we're gonna be using some spray glue and we're gonna cut out the leather. After that, we're gonna laser engrave the 8-ball. The Dream Team has been working non-stop this morning, so we decided to take a break and head over to Rejuvenator's go-to spot, Taco Boys. They're a family-owned authentic taqueria from Sonora, and this place never misses. They have the best tacos al Gabon in Arizona. I go in on the carne asada tacos and burritos mixed with all the delicious salsas and unlimited bar of ingredients. Check out Taco Boys on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok at AZ Taco Boys. They're open every day with several locations in Arizona. tell him Reshoevn8r sent you. Towards the end of the day, the homie Ballin twin, aka Randy, stopped by the studio to show us some of his crazy, unique collection. He's also a good friend of Mark Smith, so of course the main stuff he brought was all his laser engraved stuff from Mark, Chris Lundy, and Maze. It was unbelievable to see everything together on one table. Even the 2 pairs of Jordan 3 lows with the dunk soles that were created by Mark in the kitchen have never been seen together until today. Looking at all these shoes and geeking over them with my friends was really special. These shoes are history with stories that deserve to be shared with the world. The crazy thing is that this is only a tiny fraction of the stuff that Mark Smith has worked on over the years. This was a fun conversation. We're gonna drop the full video soon. Subscribe to our channel.
So basically for this project, besides padding and stiffeners and stuff like that, we basically have 2 different leathers that we're using. We have a nice pigskin here in black that we use for the liner, the back of the tongue, the collar, and then a nice white full grain calfskin. These are beautiful leathers we have here.
The cool thing is too that we're using materials as closest to the original thing as possible. This information is from Mark Smith himself. He said black pigskin and some beautiful tumbled white leather. I think we got that, and that's thanks to District Leather Supply. They have everything you need, from beautiful materials, tools, last, you name it, anything you need to make a shoe, they have it. Check out districtleathersupply.com right now. Bill, thank you so much for making this project possible. Hey dude, got the leather cut up, machine's ready to go. Where are we at?
So as you know, we're trying to be as accurate as possible on all of these engravings, and since there's not a lot of photos of this toe cap area in a clear angle, what I'm doing is laying down some masking tape. Gonna do a relief etching, take that, scan it into the computer, put it in Illustrator, and then outline the whole thing, so that way on the laser engraving itself it is as accurate as possible.
Smart, man. Looks really good. How do you feel about it?
I'm feeling good.
All right, man. Let's keep it going.
Let's go.
It's day 3, you guys. We got all the parts fully cut out. Not gonna lie, we're pretty tired. The last few nights we've been here till 3, 4 in the morning, just trying to get everything fully cut out, perfected. The laser engraving machine is not really easy to work with, but at this point, we finally got it. I'm happy we just made it here.
We learned our lesson. It's an art. It surely is. So yeah, we have everything cut. Over here, you know, we have pre-washed and washed. You know, basically there's soot that gets all over all these pieces, and we need to clean them off, otherwise the soot gets all over all this nice white leather.
That's right, so the laser engraving machine creates a lot of burn marks all around this white leather. We're gonna be using our Reshoevn8r Essential Shoe Cleaning Kit. All we really need is our soft bristle brush and our solution. We're gonna go to the sink and give this a good scrub. Everything's washed, fully dried, ready to go. Next step is assembly. Where are we at?
Yeah, so we got started on it off camera just to kind of make sure everything's coming together right. We got this far. I think we're ready to start with the other side down.
That's right, so what's the first piece we're grabbing?
Yeah, so the first thing we want to do is the main piece here. We want to start here.
Body.
With that, we want to connect the like back half of it here.
Okay.
There's like a hidden stitch on these Jordan 3s.
And it just rolls over, right?
On the medial side, yeah. So we need to skive a lot. We got some glue that we need to lay down, and then we'll do this hidden stitch first, and then we'll come in with some other pieces.
All right, so it sounds like we gotta do some prep work first. I'm gonna take care of the skiving. If we start sewing without doing any skiving, it's gonna look bulky in some areas. We don't want that. In some areas, we're gonna go in with a little X-Acto knife to make it nice and thin.
So Vic just got this hidden stitch on the medial side all done. We now have the eyelets glued into place. We have the lace stiffeners in place behind that, and then backing as well. Now we have the black pigskin leather that we're gonna put in for the liner. We need to spray adhesive that, lay it down, and we can start sewing. So as crude as this looks, this is just a box, but you wanna kind of contain the spray glue. And when you're laying this down, you want to kind of let it lay on its own. You don't want to try to manipulate it too much, because then it'll just lay flat as the pattern sits. And then we'll roll it. You know, one funny thing to me is that sticks out is the word filigree. Never heard that word before, never gonna forget that word, but you know, that was the key in this whole thing, is having Mark Smith's work and in that work pattern that he has. He calls it the filigree. And without that, this whole thing would not be possible. We'd be able to do something on this laser project, but it wouldn't be able to look as detailed and put together as this without it. So we're moving along nicely. We have the upper made. Next, we need to punch some holes and then get started making the interior. Also, we have the tongues to do.
That's right. So with the holes, they're already there. The laser engraver created them. However, when you put the liner in, it kind of covered them up. So with the hole punch and hammer, we'll recreate them. We're also onto the tongues. They're still not attached yet. How do we go about this?
Yeah, so with the tongues, you meet them face to face. It's a compound curve stitch. So they don't match just like this. You got to kind of curve them to make them match. But once they do, they're good. And then it'll flip out like that. We put the padding in, the backing, all that.
Interesting, yeah.
Yeah.
Without that explanation, it'll kind of weird. They don't line up, you know?
Yeah, it's like, how would you sew that
exactly. So once they're put together, you'll see what it looks like.
Yeah.
All right, we just got back from the lake. We had a great time on the Rejuvenator boat. We did some swimming and some surfing. We're all tired. Jake's taking a nap, so we're just gonna get started on these midsoles and soles. We gotta get them ready for the uppers. So using a Dremel, we're gonna remove all the glue. After that, we're gonna talk about these midsoles. As we were out and about, I ran into my good friend from Strat. I talked to him about the project. He loved everything about it, so he hooked up the entire team with a bunch of disposable cameras. For a hassle-free film experience, check them out at stratphotoclub.com or on Instagram at stratphotoclub.
So we got the majority of the upper done. Now we need to move on to the interior collar and lining.
Dude, the shell looks really good. It's starting to look like the shoe. This is information directly from the man himself, Mark Smith. He used black pigskin leather on the original Kobe Laser 3 Low, so we're using the exact same stuff. So for this step, we gotta lay down the sock liner now. What's the process for this step?
Yeah, so basically what we wanna do is pick out a very soft portion of this pigskin. If you notice, some of it's kind of thicker than other areas. Closer to the edges, it's a little bit thinner and flexible.
Right.
And it'll stretch one way. And we wanna pick that area. And what we'll do is we'll fold this back tab down and then wrap it around here inside out, clip it, and then we'll sew it, and then we'll roll the edge in along with a counter and padding.
Sounds good. Let's get a nice piece out.
So we have the liner attached. Before we roll it in, we need to add padding and a heel counter.
I think you'll take care of the counter. I'll take care of the padding. Both are really important. The padding's for obviously for comfort. The counter is to give the upper some structure.
So we finished the interior, the liner's in, now it's time to build some tongues.
That's right, so you got the leather parts over there. What I gotta do with this pattern piece and some foam is simply trace it out, cut it to give it some structure and comfort. After that, you're gonna sew it, right?
Yeah, so I'm gonna join these two together. That'll get the top and the bottom piece of the tongue ready to go. Then we'll get the pigskin lining, sew it around the top, install the padding, close it all up, and then we can install the tongue into the shoes. Well, we got the tongue in, and now our shoe's 3D. Now it's time to last it.
That's right, we got our last right here and our lasting board. I think first, we're gonna get it onto the last,
Yep.
nail it down,
Tack it on,
wrap it around,
wrap it on,
get some nails,
get some nails.
hammer it down.
Pull, tighten, get it situated all nice where it looks all even.
Pretty straightforward, but you wanna do this part right. If you do it wrong, you can get a wonky looking upper. You know, it's gotta be centered. If you pull too much on this side, it just kinda makes the whole shoe weird.
Yeah, it'll look like a sad sock puppet if you don't do it right.
This guy's the OG, so we're gonna let him do it.
Okay.
Prep is complete. Before we lay down the glue, let's take care of these midsoles. So first, we're gonna do some taping. After that, we're gonna lay down some Angelus flat black paint. While we have the airbrush out, we're gonna take care of these custom insoles. We laser engraved the 8-ball. Now we wanna add a gold touch. The reason why we're going with gold is to match these custom laces. Let's go ahead and use some 18K gold.
As you can see, we got the shoe all lasted. What's next?
That's right, it's good to go. Midsole and sole is all prepped. Let's stick both parts together. But first, we gotta do some prep work. With the pen, we're gonna outline exactly where to do the prep work and lay down some glue. For this part, it's gonna be a two-man team.
So we want to get it all lined up. Make sure everything's nice from the back, side, toe tip. Place if you want. Just start.
So right there.
Yep. We've applied glue to the upper and the sole. Let it sit for a few minutes. Now it's ready to be heated and we can join the two pieces together.
After 6 days of hard work, let's stitch these toe caps.
It's about that time.
7 days in a row, you guys. I'm not even kidding. We started Wednesday, finished up on Tuesday. Every single day we were here till like 2, 3 in the morning getting this job done. This is by far one of the craziest projects we've done. A lot of effort, a lot of work went into it. Between Julian and Brian, getting all the engraving perfected. On our side, getting the shoe built. That was a lot of work, but I'm really thankful for this project, dude. You did a great job building it. I learned a lot from this process. I hope we made Mark Smith proud and Kobe Bryant. What do you think about this project, dude?
Yeah, it came out incredible. Better than expected, you know, which is wild because we knew what we were looking to do, but man, it came out awesome.
Jake, thanks again for helping me with this project, man. That's 2 for 2 now. Can't wait for the next one.
Oh yeah.
This project is basically wrapped up, but we still have to go in and give the shoe a proper deep clean all around. Just because of all the touching we did on these shoes the last 7 days, the white leather has some scuffing and marks from the laser engraving. It's not a problem, it's just surface grime. We're gonna go in with our Rejuvenator Essential Shoe Cleaning Kit using our solution and our soft bristle brush to give everything a nice quick pass over to get everything cleaned up so we can lace the shoe up. If you're interested in winning this beautiful one-of-one Kobe Bryant signed piece, then make sure you're following Pristine Auctions on Instagram and head over to their website at pristineauctions.com for more details on how to win. All right, Brian, after 7 long days of work, what do you think?
I'm speechless, blown away. In fact, I just want to sit here and just look at them for a good hour or two, you know.
Beautiful sneaker.
Just seeing them come to life after all the work that it took to get it done, and seeing it finally put together, and it looks pretty much dead on
like
to
the
what the
thing.
original one was. I know we didn't try to completely replicate it perfectly, but it just has the shape, it just has the look, that deep engraving that Mark is known for. It just, I couldn't be happier.
Dude, they came out amazing, and not only that, you made a box for these.
Yes, I did.
The box is amazing. So the exact filigree pattern that's on the shoe is on the box, on the inside. Got the 8-ball, all the details are there. It's a beautiful freaking box.
Thank you. I figured I had to do something that was worthy of these shoes and also of the laser era, as well as Mark. I wanted to make Mark proud.
Well, that's important, of course. We needed to honor Kobe the right way, honor Mark Smith and his whole team, the laser engraving era. I also want to give a big thank you to you, Brian, for making this project happen. Julian for, you know, being the brains of it, graphics. He spent hours and hours getting it all together. Jake for putting the shoe together. Dane Customs did a great job. All 3 of you guys made this project possible.
Well, you're welcome. You know what? I think the experience of the whole project for me was just as good as actually getting the shoes. So I really appreciate that. And I do thank the guys that you thanked as well. Couldn't have been happier.
What's left?
So, well, I think I'm so happy with this. I think it's important that we jump on a Zoom call with Mark,
the
man, the legend himself, Head Check,
Mr. Mark
aka
Smith.
Smitty, and let's see what he thinks about that. Let's jump on that Zoom call.
Let's get on this call. Hey, Mark, how you doing, man?
Thanks for taking the time to join us today.
Mark, I just want to say real quick, man, this is a surreal moment talking to you. So for the last like 5 or 6 months, I've seen your picture every single day. I've done so much research on you and just trying to get prepared for this project that we did last week with Brian. We assembled the whole team to do this project right. And I just wanted to say thank you so much for being on this call with us right now, giving us that other image of the tongue to show us that H shield. Like all of that stuff, Mark, is incredible. And I just want to thank you.
Well, thanks, man. That's very, very kind of you to say. I appreciate that. And I'm sure I look exactly the same as 15 years ago.
100%. Just no goatee.
But by the way, thanks for all the, for the attention to what was one of many, many projects. It seemed to, touch a lot of parts of the company and touch a lot of parts of the industry. But again, I keep explaining how it was just my job. It was just what I was doing, and it was just another project that came in. And I appreciate the attention to detail. I do look back fondly on presenting to Kobe. That was a very high point for me.
We were going to show you.
Oh, look at that thing. Wow, look at that thing. Well, so I was going to ask you, what did you use for a last?
So we used just a regular Jordan 3 last.
Is it an F8 last? That thing looks amazing.
Yes, it was. So we used that last that was already constructed for a Jordan 3 last. However, if we had more time on the project, we wanted to slim down that toe box area to get more of a certain shape that we wanted, just like the pair you had. However, it was 7 days. We spent a lot of time tinkering with the laser engraver, making sure the settings are on point.
It was a labor of love, Mark.
Yeah, and like on this shoot too, we included the logo that you gave Brian.
The logo you made for me, Mark, we put on the...
Oh, yeah, that's really cool.
Is it weird to you that we're actually recreating a piece of your art?
Yeah, it's interesting because it was one of many, many things. And so to have anything pulled out and decades later and have it inspected, investigated, reproduced in any way, I think that's just, for me, it's very, very cool. I appreciate that. And I can't, thank you guys for doing that. It's an honor and a pleasure to be, thought of in that way. So spending your time and effort on something that was just my job.
The honor's ours.
Well, we love you, Mark. We appreciate all of your gifts to the laser era and to Nike, and it's inspired a lot of us. I can't tell you how much it inspires me, even lasering boxes and doing things like that. I always think about, what would Mark do?
Thanks, you guys. Appreciate it. Have fun. I appreciate everything. Can't wait to see pictures of the thing when it's done. I'd love for you guys to share some of that stuff with the guys at Nike. I don't know how to do that or anything, but the team there that worked on those would probably love to see that stuff. So thanks,
right.
You guys.
Thank you, Mark.
Thanks, Mark. All right.
Bye, guys.
Take
Bye.
care. All right, dude. I'm geeking out. We just talked to Mark Smith.
I feel like we did him proud. I'm looking forward to seeing his reaction to more of the pictures that we sent.
Yeah. We already talked about the next one. Hopefully we get Mark Smith's approval. What do you think?
Hey, I'm all in. After this project, I'm so happy to be a part of it. I can't wait for another one.
Again, Brian, thank you so much for this project, dude. This project is definitely in my top 3. Meeting Mark Smith, hanging out with all these guys to do this project, it was truly a blessing.
Well, I think it's time for me to take these home now. Let's get out of here.
Let's go, sir.